news media is not always interested in the day-to-day work, the small stories that really are the behind-the-scenes groundwork that allows for the big exciting things to occur at those big moments. But the reality is that everyday people are on the ground all the time, having conversations, experimenting with new strategies, taking risks and doing things they've never done before. And maybe that's not interesting, maybe that's not news to the world as it's defined.
So many good things are happening in our community that most people don't know about. And so going beyond what's in our traditional news outlets really helps us find out what's important in our community, what good things may be being overlooked, so that other people can recognize it and possibly join in and partner with the Fig Tree and other organizations doing great things in our community.
A few people can make a big difference, perhaps at the local level, but perhaps even beyond that. We have people in this town who have been highlighted by the Fig Tree, who have shown us how to do things beyond this community.
I think they really go to the heart of the story, and I think the heart of the story is always the people, and they really do a great job of covering the people behind the entities, and I think that really, for me, connects.
Think of faith without action, because I think a faith is only meaningful and appropriate and relevant when we're in action.
Boy, I think the NAACP was predicated and created with faith and purpose, and I think that is the intersection that the Fig Tree really promotes in its paper, the intersection of both faith and purpose in what we are doing to build that community. You know, people with faith and purpose, I think, are driven to do something bigger and better than themselves, as opposed to those that are driven by, let's say, capitalism or gain, personal gain. The coverage that I see in the Fig Tree is always about things that are bigger than people and things that have more impact on just the individual person.
People who are sustained by their faith perspective have a great strength in that particular regard in times like this, when we're not fighting because things are looking particularly winnable. We're fighting because it's the right thing to do.
This is not something that you're going to find typically in our traditional newspapers. You don't find stories that are really focusing on the diversity, particularly within the faith community. And I think it really is important for people to know that the faith community is alive and well and doing great things in Spokane.
I think the real value of the Fig Tree is the fact that it understands what the Christian faith is all about. It's not just about personal salvation, but it's also about it's about holiness, but it's about personal holiness and social holiness. And the Fig Tree focuses on matters of compassion, matters of justice, which takes us beyond just the personal salvation. It keeps the faith honest, in constantly reminding the reader, whether those be ordained clergy or members, of what our task is as Christians in this world we live in.
The resource directory, among other things, shows us how many great organizations and how many wonderful people there are in this town who are serving. It's also a place that we can go. I use it in my classes at times for people who are looking for projects or things to do. It shows us places we can go to get assistance, but also where we can help others. One of the things I think we're all looking for is a way to make a difference, and the resource directory helps us do that.
Yes, I would be remiss if I didn't point out that the resource directory that they publish is the one-stop directory where you can get connected with various resources in the city. Instead of going from phone tree to phone tree, you have a one-stop directory that you can find resources from either congregations, services, individuals that you can resource with, nonprofit organizations.
This is really great for new people who are moving into the community who may want to find different services and don't really know where to go. And it's also helpful for people who've been here for a while, because new businesses come and go, and a lot of times people are not aware of it. So having access to the resource directory really can make a difference in connecting us with resources and services.
What the Fig Tree does particularly well, in my view, is emphasize what's positive about the community, emphasizes the good work that people are doing.
One of our members, Diane Zena, who is an avid supporter and reader of the Fig Tree, and whenever the latest issue comes out, you can trust Diane and her husband to be standing at the door, and as people leave, she places the Fig Tree in everybody's hands. And so it's a wonderful vehicle for people to read about the gospel and the way it's actually working.
One of the things the Fig Tree does beautifully is reveal the behind-the-scenes reality of both what it takes to get things done and what makes it possible to get things done.
We live in an amazing city filled with amazing people who are doing incredible things, and many of those things we would never know anything about if it weren't for the Fig Tree.